Hi, welcome back to Idaho Fabricator. Today, a very special episode. I got a slideshow. Lots of pictures. I'm going to take you back to the very beginning when I dragged this truck out of the farm and bring you up to date. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, welcome to Project Trans-Farmation. Cool name, huh? You know, I bought this truck in Colfax, Washington, out in a farmer's field, and there were several trucks to choose from. And I liked this one because it had the least amount of visible Bondo. And so that's the one I picked. And it was pretty good. No motor. It did have a transmission. And look at that, the original heater. I think I'm going to upgrade that though. There it is when I got her home. Moved it into the shop and started to take a look at my project. Check the tire. Notice how it's really close to the front fender. And there it is now. And that's what's really cool. You can actually change your suspension and dial it in just the way you want. So there's the hood in all its glory. I think I had the front windshield was okay and the back window was okay. The side windows were broken. Nice rat's nest of wires. Just kind of doing a photo record so I could remember where everything went. I went ahead and pulled the bed off and just started stripping it down, bagging and tagging as much as I went along so I could remember where everything went. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to look lowered, so I got my jack out and made a cardboard tire just so I could play around with it. Here I am yanking the cab off the frame so I can strip the rest of the stuff off the frame and get it ready. Went pretty easy. I made a stand to put the cab on so I could work on it. Well, there it is, a roller. I sandblasted the frame, hung it up on there, and then I sprayed it with some epoxy primer so it wouldn't rust. Started to take it apart and look at the interior, seeing what I had. And boy, you know what? You think it's really pretty rust free, and then boom, there's just like rust everywhere. So I had to get busy and start carving out the bad pieces and installing patch panels. And it's not very hard. It's just a real time-consuming deal. There's your lower cab corner. That's pretty common. There I am fixing it, getting it all set up with these cool little panel clamps. And those things work awesome, by the way. And I actually couldn't wait to sit in it, so I went ahead and gave it a test drive. Again, just more working on the body, just kind of seeing where I'm at, playing around with it. I really hadn't made a lot of final decisions yet. In fact, I'm still changing my mind. There's where I put the transmission tunnel in, and I wanted to make sure there was enough room for it, and there is enough room for it, so that worked out good. There's my 4-link rear suspension. It's a 9-inch Ford rear end. And there's the frame, kind of eyeballing it there. I'm getting ready to put my front suspension in. And there's the master cylinder bracket, which I'm changing, and I got a video coming. I'll show you about that. Some more shots of the back end. I'm going with a 350 gear ratio, positive traction, because I think I told you before I'm going to do copious amounts of smoky burnouts. I ran a string across the frame to find the center line, and then I just started laying things out, getting it to where I wanted it. And I just kind of tucked the cab away over there. Here I am putting the cab on the frame, I wanted to make sure that I just, basically the cab comes off and on quite a few times during this process. And just want to make sure it was right. So the core support has to go on so that you can put the fenders on, because they're supported by the core support. And then at this point I'm checking the front suspension to make sure that the center line is in the center of the fender. I wanted to make sure that it looked right. And this is the time you can do it. So there you can see it's all dialed in. So you kind of mock it all up, get it where you want, and then you go ahead and tack it and finish weld it up. So there's a little cutout I had to make for the rack and pinion, because I used a 2-inch drop spindle, and just some close-ups of it there. I had to modify that low front cross member, and you can see there I cut out a portion of it that was in the way of the rack and pinion. There you can see an aerial view of it. There it is, the front suspension sitting on the truck. I went ahead and set the bed on there and double checked the fit of everything and made sure that it was just exactly the way I wanted it. And I put the cab on, just double checking, making sure the bed was centered, making sure that everything was going to fit. Here I am, made a cardboard gas tank because I wanted to see what size would fit in there. And so I started cutting away some of the frame to make room for it. I removed the rear cross member. It was at this point I decided to box the rear frame in. And so here I am putting some boxing plates on. And the cross member there is kind of holding everything in place. And I made a little jig there to keep the frame from moving. The gas tank I finally ended up with is for a 41 Ford. It fits awesome and allows me plenty of room. It sits just right in the frame. I didn't like it sitting too low, and I didn't want it to hide the differential, from the back. And so there's some brackets that I made to hold it. And there you can see it. It just sits really nice. And there's the Corvette fuel filter. And well, there you have it. That is my project, and then I got more to come.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those slides. It's just a lot of fun being with you guys and sharing all these pictures with you. Next time, I'm going to go into my engine and transmission install. I had quite a few, obstacles that I had to overcome, and I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. So, again, it's been just really cool being with you guys. Be sure and like, share, and subscribe. And you know what? Leave me some comments. I'd love to hear from you. I enjoy the feedback, and I will try and include those in future videos. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Idaho Fabricator.